Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here. Big weekend for fights if you follow mixed martial arts, and we're here with John Fitch. You can find him at johnfitch.net. On the Twitter sphere, you can also find him on YouTube right now, at official John Fitch. In fact, we're going to put that into the live chat. Make sure you are subscribed. A lot of cool things going on there. And then johnfitch.net is the official site where you can find everything John Fitch. John, what are you up to on YouTube this week, my friend?
Well, I'm trying to change gears up a little bit. I'm trying to figure out the best fit for what I'm doing. I'm gonna start looking into Rockfin a little bit, and maybe I may be moving my Patreon over to my Rockfin, so that might eat up a little bit of my time. I'm trying to put my time in the best places right now, and those videos that I'm editing are taking forever.
Listen, that's why I do it live. A lot of people ask me why I don't do as much produced content anymore, and it's like, well, I can do a produced.
No, it is. If you can hit it, if you could do a 15-minute video in one shot, fuck yeah.
Every time. That's what I'm telling you, because look, I can spend a week on something that ends up being 22 minutes, and I can think it's really polished and really well produced, and it's going to get my point across. 4,000 views. I can strap in, say what I got to say, make some mistakes along the way maybe, but do have the same effectiveness and maybe even get more than 4,000 views that way. And guys, if you don't know about Rockfin, I'm going to put mine in here. If you want to sign up, it's $9.99 a month. Soon you're going to be able to have, apparently, John Fitch content, because what's cool about this platform is it's invite only. In order to become a creator, they kind of reach out to you, or you have to have something to offer. Not everybody can jump in. And it's niche-based. MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, and then alternative media, which is a huge fit for even this program. I've actually posted a couple mixed martial mindsets because we talk about not only MMA, a little bit of BJJ, I guess, John, world-class wrestler, but we also talk some politics. We're going to talk some Wuhan flu today, all right? So we got a lot to offer. It's a perfect fit over here.
Got you all in check.
Oh, man, I don't know some of the videos you've seen, but we'll get there eventually, man. They're starting to scare me a bit. I'll be honest, John. I've never been a big fearmonger on these pandemics or whatever, but the amount of people...
I've got ammo, so I'm all right.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad we're fucking armed, bro. Like, the Pentagon opened up an 11th quarantine center in this country.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts. Like, we'll show you the Chinese videos later, but what's as fucking nuts to me, but not really, but what this program is about, is that Dominic Reyes was not and new after this fiasco. I clearly had the first 3 rounds for Reyes. I found it very hard to give any of those rounds. I didn't think they were close to Jones. Jones in 2 of those rounds was rocked enough to not only back up but run away for a good 5 seconds, which was smart. You know, he reclaimed his footing. He got himself off the cage. Dominic Reyes also put leg kicks in there. He also stopped takedowns in those first 3 rounds. There was really nothing. You can't show me one point in any of those 3 rounds where Reyes seemed to be in trouble at all, or that Jones outstruck him in points. If you put it on silent, I watched it twice. Obviously, I watched it on the go with the Rogan crew, and we were all sitting there. And at the end of it, when fucking Bruce Buffer said 49-46, I'm like, it's got to be fucking and new. Somebody gave Reyes the 4th, you know? Nope. Someone gave John Jones 4 out of 5 fucking rounds. That is unfucking believable to me. I mean, I really think even in the 4th and 5th, where he did get, I think in the 4th he got 3 takedowns, and I want to say in the 5th he got 2. What did he do with them? It wasn't John Fitch style. He didn't grind him up. In fact, I don't know that he landed a strike on the body or the face on any of them. And really, a couple of them were so immediate, and he was able to get his back against the fence and nudge up. I mean, yeah, it's a takedown if it comes down to that, but that's like a 1-2 combo that somebody eats to me. Your feelings, John Fitch?
So I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Let's do it.
Well, no, I mean, Reyes looked great. He did awesome. He did better than anybody has with John Jones, but when you're fighting the champion, like you have to put a little extra on it. I always feel they always lean a little bit towards the champ. So if it's not 100% obvious to everybody, then it's gonna go with the champ.
Now you watched it with the sound off too, because you were doing
Yeah, we were doing a live stream. We did a watch along. Me and Tinkle for Fitch and Tinkle Smash Everything, and we don't ever listen to the sound, and I don't really like listening to the sound. It's just it's like pro wrestling. It's pro wrestling PR, and I'm not interested.
Well, the problem is, like,
I'm here for the violence. Just show me the violence.
Well, I'd like to hear. Here's what I like. I like to hear what's going on in the corners. And when I'm listening to something going on in the corners, for instance, and by the way, Flickoff, thank you for that KO sticker. We appreciate it over here in the Super Chat verse. Was that at no point did Greg Jackson say you were behind, or you may have lost 1, 2, or 3. To me, after the third round, I felt like there should have been like, hey, you need a finish. And it was never discussed. And on the other end, with Reyes, they were kind of telling him he was winning, but they weren't guaranteeing it to him. You know, at the end, Reyes said he felt like he won the first 3. I agree with that sentiment. But, did he gas? Yeah. But Jones didn't look fucking fantastic in 4 and 5 either. I don't know, man. I just feel like for the guy to give 4 rounds to Jones, when on paper he outstruck him in those first 3 and had him on his wheels, I get it. But that's the other thing. If we're going to have merit-based...
I think also he started slowing down. Reyes started slowing down somewhere towards the end of the fight, and I think that hurt him a little bit too.
And by the way, it wasn't like Jones wasn't competitive at points in the first and second. I felt like in the third, there really was no question that Reyes walked away with that round. But, Jones was definitely fighting back. I felt like Reyes, even though Jones was walking him down, wasn't walking him down with 1-2s. He was just, kind of in there, feints. Reyes was backing up. And when Jones would throw one and connect, a lot of times Reyes was hitting him with better shots or countering with those leg kicks.
No, I don't really remember a lot of significant strikes from Jones.
No. I don't know, man. I get it. He moves the needle. It puts, for me, the UFC in an awkward spot because I think, this coming week is the Corey Anderson-Blachowicz fight, right? That's a fight night. But Corey Anderson wins, he's almost guaranteed the title shot at this point, or should be, especially if he does so in convincing fashion.
They'll make him fight.
Reyes?
Reyes.
You might, I want you to be wrong.
They'll make him fight Reyes.
But then who the fuck do they put against Jones at 205? Or do they try to sell a super fight?
Yeah, he tries to sell a fight at heavyweight. Takes 6 months.
Cowboy moves up to heavyweight.
Yeah, Cowboy moves up to heavyweight. That's a good
I shouldn't jest because I felt like Reyes fought his heart out, and for the guy for the first time who had problems going 3, I didn't think Reyes beat Oezdemir in that split decision. In fact, I thought Oezdemir kind of got screwed in that, and you could see his gas tank go. I was actually impressed. He went 3 and actually lasted 4 and 5. I was worried that in 4 and 5 he was going to fade enough that Jones could take him out. But that was another thing that bothered me. They kept talking about how winded he was. Jones had his fucking mouth open for a good significant portion of that 5th round. Like, he was breathing deep. It's not like he was just walking through.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a much faster pace. It was a much faster starting pace than Jones, I think, is used to. Because he's used to more setting the pace and stalking the guy a little bit more. This time he had to move quite a bit.
So, as we like to do every time, let's talk about the money aspect of this. Let's talk about dollars and cents. Now, obviously, Bones got pay-per-view money or some kind of pay-per-view money. The $540,000 seems light. I'd say he probably made more like $5 to $10 million for this fight.
Well, that's probably his guaranteed whatever pay.
I mean, Reyes
probably he could have gotten another $500,000 to $2 million discretionary bonus in the back just for being a good guy, and then the pay-per-view points, whatever his pay-per-view setup is.
Derek Lewis in a pretty hard you watched it, obviously. I mean, Latifi's a big
That was a great fight. That was probably my favorite fight of the night. There was a 185-pound fight that was really good too.
The Kraus-Giles fight?
Yes.
Yeah, that was also good. I mean, I watched start to finish. Some of the actual early prelims were pretty exciting as well.
One thing that I noticed watching the fights with Tinkle was that I know all the fighters look really greasy.
You think they're going
Like,
back to the St. Pierre days? You fought St.
I
Pierre. Let's talk about it. Was he
well,
fucking
most of the
oil
guys I
bath?
fought knew I was a wrestler, so they were always greasy anyway. So I don't know if it was like any. I don't know if it was special treatment for me or if that was just a prevalent thing, but
Well,
I
didn't
don't
they
know,
used to
man.
go for the oil
Everybody, they
baths?
got something going on. Everybody looks really shiny.
I heard like back in the day. I mean, you used to watch fucking them like just grease George in his shoulders in the corner before they made it illegal. I think
Rub it on
especially
his
in the
nipples.
pen. Yeah, the pen fight was pretty bad, but like I heard he was taking oil baths, like literally before the fight.
No, there's a lot of guys who will put a lot of lotion on.
Uh,
You can sit in a bath with lotion and whatever on, and it gets absorbed into your skin, so you're dry. But then when you start to sweat, it just starts coming out.
ugh, that's awful, 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 awful. But great fight, by the way. But like Latifi's chin in that was pretty amazing. I thought anyway. Derek Lewis showed a lot of holes in my opinion. His
He
wrestling.
also threw a head kick.
What's that?
He also threw a head kick.
I mean, both of them feel like coconut
That
head
was
people.
that was wild. I
Dude,
didn't know
I
he could
mean,
play that high.
I just feel like Derek Lewis is great when he's fighting like the 5 to 15 guys, right? And then he'll shock you with a Volkov, right? Volkov was winning that fight for, 14 and a half minutes. and,
Yep.
and all of a sudden still had that killer power. But he turned it on in the third, especially against Latifi. Latifi's a 205er. He's fought as low as 185 anyway. It's a light
he's
division.
real.
I see why
He
he's
was
in
he
there.
was thick, but he was carrying a little too much baggage to move well, I think.
He's so thick, dude. He already doesn't have a neck at 205. He really doesn't have a neck at heavyweight. Like when he's that big, he did a great job of pressing him up against the cage, putting him into uncomfortable spots. I'm a big Alir Latifi fan, man. He grinded it out, and it's unfortunate that he walks away with about 100 grand. But then again, Lewis had to fight for his other $145,000 win bonus. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I would think that Derek Lewis sells merchandise for Reebok. He's got a name. He's pretty marketable. 300,000. I mean, he should be making $500,000 a fight easy, don't you think?
He's probably making good money just off of his Instagram.
He's like the
He's got-
Instagram guy. I know he's got a crazy one.
He puts a lot of memes and stuff up.
How do you
he's
so you
pretty
can make
active. I'm pretty
more
sure
money
it's,
on Instagram through other people's content?
Like if you get like to over 100,000 followers on Instagram, you can definitely make a career out of having an Instagram account.
That's so weird. Maybe I should do it. I've never done I just don't want to post that shit. I've got enough.
Well, you're already doing the content. You just gotta pay somebody else to cut it up into small segments.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. Interns. I need interns, John. So Chikagan, Shevchenko. We kind of talked about this a little off the air, but Shevchenko's just so much better than anybody else in her division right now, and the gap is huge.
And that happens a lot with women's fighting. Is you'll have the ones that stand out really stand out because the pool to choose from is so much smaller than with the guys.
So what do they do with her, man? Like what do they do with her? She's like, do they do the super fight with the Chinese champion and make her come up? Do they do a catchweight fight? Do they just keep feeding her people that are in that 2 to 10 bracket but that far away? I mean, Chikagan, she tried to stand her ground, but first of all, good stoppage by the ref. I heard some people saying it wasn't. She had her in that crucifix. That was not going to stop. She tried to buck her 2 or 3 times.
She was dumb.
Dunzo. She was only going to take crazy elbows. So what do you do with her?
Man, like how has promotion gone? What's your take on their promotion? Like, do they like her? Are they putting her out there a lot, or is she another one of the ones they kind of bury and never?
Well,
put out?
I look at it this way, right? Even though she could be like a total star, and they should play up the whole fucking secret agent girl. I am not the spy. I am not the spy. Have you seen she's been asked? I am not the spy.
Mm-hmm.
I am not the spy. Play that up. The problem is that she's Eastern European, Russian, and we have, again, this country. I feel like especially with MMA, and at least what we see of it, it's very Western driven. It's great when they get a star like McGregor because, not only does he rape away, but he sells to the United States where it's their biggest market, right? And Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they don't necessarily want a huge MMA presence in Russia, it seems like. Habib is should be the biggest star. Again, never lost, running through cats. That Ferguson fight is the fucking fight every hardcore guy like me has been waiting for 4 or 5 years.
Everybody's waiting for it.
Oh, I can't wait for that fight. And if they did it in Dagestan, or they did it somewhere in Russia, in Moscow, that shit would be fucking huge. And what has that guy done? I mean, listen, a lot of people say I fanboy out on the guy. The guy spends his own time giving to charity. He wants the UFC to do an event in Africa so they can have water for their villages. He prays, he doesn't cheat on his wife, and he swims across river currents. Fucking Josh Thompson was on McCarthy's podcast or whatever this week, and he was talking about Ali Abdiaziz and how he's brought champions together, and he spoke about that crew, and he's like, look, man, you don't understand. Those guys fucking train every day. He's like, they don't need all the equipment in the world. They don't need the motivation. They'll go to the fucking park, and they're doing it. So everything I said, if fucking Khabib spoke in a goddamn Irish accent and was from over there, he would be the poster boy for MMA. You couldn't sell enough. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't even have to worry about the facade. But he's a Muslim. We like to bomb them, and he's part of the other spy agency. I think the only thing wrong with Shevchenko is that accent and the Russian, because she's a pretty woman. Right? She's cute. She's scary as shit, but you could sell her in a dress, and she's, blonde hair, blue eyes, blah blah blah.
Yeah, tough and feminine. I don't know why they wouldn't try to push that. I don't know if there's
I mean, again, it's because she's not all-American, and I think that's unfortunate because, again, if this is going to be a merit-based sport, if you see someone like...
Or is it just going to be how it is from now on? They don't really push anybody. Like, every once in a while, somebody has a certain special flair that draws a little extra attention, but they're just McDonald's, and they're cranking out Whopper or, Big Macs.
I think you're right on the Big Macs, but I still think that they're invested in names. I mean, look at that push for Hardy that they tried to put out in that last year. They really tried to push that motherfucker, like putting him in with names, putting him on the fucking main card, having him headline events. I think in the right circumstances, when they think they can exploit it financially, and I haven't seen this with
well, he had a built-in market already.
Yeah, and NFL,
Yeah,
that's why
Shevchenko doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think she has a
global
global market.
That's kind of what they do. The promoters nowadays, I don't think that they're in the business of promoting people. They're in the business of taking somebody who's already got notoriety, someone who's already got a following, and then pimping them out.
Well, Justin Bieber wants to fight Bellator, doesn't he? Isn't he the one saying he wants to get in with Coker? I'm pretty sure. It was someone like that. I mean, Bieber, you don't know what you're getting into, bro. This is like...
Imagine trying to pick a fight with Scott Coker. He's the nicest man.
That'd be amazing. If Coker stepped in the cage against Bieber.
This guy,
biggest pay-per-view of all time.
Coker, what the hell?
Perfect.
What's wrong with you, Bieber?
Let's look some of the other cash. So really, again, thin main card, but they matched people up pretty well. The Krause-Giles fight was fun, back and forth. But then again, James Krause took that on a day's notice. James Krause, no camp, fought a division up.
Really?
Yeah. Yo, you didn't know that part of the story?
No, it was 1 day notice.
Yeah, he was literally the other guy didn't get cleared to fight right before the weigh-ins, and Krause fought a division up and fucking on a day's notice.
Oh my goodness!
And good for Krause because he got that $50,000 fight of the night bonus, but guy fought on a day's notice on the main card for $32K to show. So
well, I mean, he's probably training for something else already, maybe. Or he just fought because, I mean, if it's a day's notice, that means he had to be licensed there already.
That's true. It was in Texas, though. That's all I'm gonna say. It was in Texas. They had some pretty fucking sketchy shit going on there. Overall, by the way, decent card. Although Justin Tafa versus who was it? Manuel, doesn't belong in the UFC. Juan Adams does not belong in the UFC. $16,000 to get knocked out by a New Zealander. They paid him to get knocked out by fucking Hardy, and he almost knocked Hardy out. Juan Adams, not UFC caliber, but again, when you're in the heavyweight division, I guess it's tough.
They'll give him 2 or 3 more.
He's cheap. Are you kidding me? He's a monster. They're definitely going to give him 2 or 3 more.
He's cheap. He's big and scary looking.
Yep, you're 100% right on that one. So I was pretty excited going through and finding out that Bellator is returning to the Mohegan Sun. And not only am I getting Pitbull versus Cavajo in the featherweight, I'm getting Barnett and Ronnie Marks, which I felt I was robbed of before. But I've never seen Barnett in person, so pretty pumped about that. Hopefully makes the Bellator debut. Not a lot on that. Usually they do a back-to-back. I mean, what do you know? Do you know anything? Are they talking to you about any cards coming up, John? I know they got San Jose. When is that? In May with Bader?
Yeah. No, I haven't gotten any word. I don't know. I'm still trying to get myself, healthy, and I'm slowly getting in shape. A couple weeks into lifting and doing cardio, so just slowly but surely.
I saw you were back in the mix, back on the gym. So not training yet at AKA, just kind of working out?
No, not yet. Just trying to get some mobility and stuff going before I start grappling and getting people pulling on my arm and neck and stuff.
Is Nurmagomedov in there training for Ferguson right now?
I don't know if he's back yet. I don't know if he's coming back this week or the next week.
I mean, when is that fight scheduled for? Is that an April fight or is that?
I thought it was April.
Let's look that up. All right, that's a good question, man. That's because that's the next big fight, right? That's the next one that everybody should want to see.
Well, we have Fury and Tyson coming up.
Ooh, you talking about Fury and Wilder too? Yes, April 18th.
Oh, Fury and sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Fury and Tyson, I get it.
Fury and Tyson, but
that is in April. So God, man, so let's talk about that issue. A lot of people would say that's the fight the fans want to see, but the UFC would much rather see Conor fight either of those guys for money reasons, right? So those guys are training with killers every single day, but killers don't always get paid in the UFC or Bellator. They go for purses like $16,000 and $16,000 to win. Who's to say there isn't a little headhunting on somebody in that gym that maybe injures a Khabib or Tony Ferguson of $50,000 or $100,000 that goes into your Bitcoin account or your PayPal all of a sudden from an anonymous source when all of a sudden they roll their ankle or pull their elbow, etc. Have you ever heard of any such antics being done in gyms?
I've never heard anything like that. Nothing on that level. I've heard of spies. There's been gym spies.
But no injuries, huh?
No. There's too much. I don't know, man. Too much knowledge and respect for what you're doing and other people are doing.
You think so, huh? You think that's too
conspiracy
theory?
Come back somehow.
Too conspiracy theory, huh? That's too tinfoil hat for you, John?
I don't think it'd be. Yeah, you would get labeled. People would know.
You think so, huh? I mean, I don't know.
It would be hard to like hurt somebody on purpose and make it look like it was an accident. It really would. It's not an easy sell.
So all right, there's a good question for you.
Oh, it was totally accident. Whoops. Whoops. Like, I'm so sorry.
Like I don't think he's tapping 4 times. Bro, I didn't hear you tap. What's the worst?
Elbow him in the face. Whoops. Like,
I'm just
how do you
saying.
play that off? I don't think so.
I'm just saying. I mean, you saw that Cowboy never broke his orbital or his nose, right? That was all made up.
I did see that. I see him. There's a screenshot. I don't know why they keep saying that shit or whatever. Like,
it's weird. It's just weird. I'm just saying. It's weird. He didn't land a strike and he didn't really break his nose. Like I said, it looked like he had almost that broken nose. It wasn't quite as turned up as he was walking out. And I'm like, all right, maybe his orbital bone was maybe semi-fractured. I guess he held like some conference and there was like a semi-fracture, but no surgery involved. So the idea both of those were broke and he folded. I don't know, man. He winks at him. He winks at him when they touch gloves. Show me another fucking cowboy fight in the face-off where he winks at the guy. I don't think it exists. If it does, DM me. I've been going through some fights. I haven't seen any of it. Maybe, I mean, even his friend, when he fought fucking Gallard, he didn't fucking wink at him. He looked like he was going to fucking tear his head off. Just saying. I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Winks don't lie.
I mean, dude, come on, man. I mean, I don't want to. You know what? I've harped on it so
You were
hard.
playing poker.
I mean, everybody went after Stephen A. Smith saying that he was fucking done before the fight was even over and that was a poor showing and yada, yada, yada. And now you find out he didn't break anything.
Stephen Smith was accurate.
Here's the thing.
He choked. People choke.
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
necessarily
true
mean
too.
it was a dive, but yeah, he was definitely not in the fight.
Look, here's the problem. It's like, I've never stepped in the cage. I'm never going to step in the cage. Do I not get a fucking opinion ever? Like, it's like, I'm not a congressman. I'm never going to be a congressman. Do I not get an opinion? Like, since when aren't people, you know, you can say someone's educated. You can say his fucking down punch sucks. But, like, at the end of the day, can't you say what you see? Are you not allowed? Or is this, like, when did fucking the MMA media become the new fucking Gestapo? Are they like pro Antifa? What's going on here?
They've been the Gestapo. What are you talking about? They are the PR machine. They are the Gestapo of the promoter. There's no free and independent press in mixed martial arts.
So since we're talking free and independent
we're the
press,
renegades.
Now is a good time to maybe. I'm not sure if you've seen this video. It was going around a lot yesterday, but we can get the John Fitch 101. I've been doing a lot of Gabbard speaking before we get to the Chinese one. Have you seen this video here? This guy, Antifa?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, that's good. So we're going to get a live reaction. Fitch.
It's a little grainy.
It is a little grainy, but this red-haired gentleman is now being attacked by this mob of people. What I don't understand is, you got a mob of people attacking a guy, right? One's about to bear mace him in a second. Here we go. Comes over, and it's straight bear mace. Bear mace is the guy. They're in helmets. They're a gang. Can you tell me another instance in society, in the United States, where there's a gang of people dressed in all black, masking their face, some of which
the police aren't moving on them immediately?
Or aren't, like, at least right there? Like, when are you in any street, any forum? And here's the thing. It's not about left or right to me, because the Black Bloc, the anarchists used to do this. I specifically remember at the G20. But the thing is, this dude is being attacked by a mob. How are these people not being charged with assault and immediately arrested when you bear mace a guy in the face? Like, what the fuck is going on in our country? Am I nuts? No.
Yeah, like that's insanity. You're a group of people jumping somebody in the middle of the street. They're like, oh, that's just Antifa rascals. That's Antifa rascals again. Jeez, they broke my store window last week.
I don't get it. And here's the thing. Again, there are agent provocateurs. There's a chance that somebody in that group is a legit cop. You know, we've seen it time and time again, them being the ones that aggravate it. But just that there aren't police in the area where there is a gang of over 10 people with their complete identities fucking hidden and they are armed is crazy. That there's no one there watching them. I just can't think of another instance.
And then they're beating somebody and then they assault them with bear mace.
Like bear mace. Like I personally, I've never been bear maced, and
I mean, that's just wrong. I mean, nobody should be bear maced. Nobody. Like unless you're being like violently attacked by someone. Like there's no reason. I don't want to see any of my enemies bear maced.
No, you're a gentleman, Mr. Fitch. You're a gentleman that you don't want to see your enemies bear maced, and I don't want to see my fellow men and women in this country bear maced or dragged off into quarantine camp. So I want to talk to Fitch a little bit about the Wuhan flu. I know that my audience has been sending me a bunch of stuff on it. So I thought this one was interesting. Here's yet another woman screaming and being drug away. which is extremely frightening. And the thing is, look, she doesn't even have one of the little masks on. I'm not saying that a lot of these victims would. Here, we'll make it bigger for you, Fitch. See if we can get you in there. But she's being drug out, and that's it. That's a wrap, man. You just get taken. And it's not an isolated...
Tied her and thrown her in a van?
Dude, that's nothing. Wait till you see what I'm about to show you. This is actually one of the tamer ones. And who's to say that in this opportunity of sorts that they won't just take political dissidents on top of everybody? So let's go to this one.
It's probably exactly what they're doing.
Exactly. It's fucking China, Fitch.
Dude, this is probably a fake virus that they created. They've already got the cure. They're going to use this to get people all worked up and then take away public whatever.
I mean, I hope it doesn't come overseas in the sense of any of this, but these are people being literally dragged out, and we're going to see somebody who, I don't know. You give me your analysis on what happens to her, but this is also scary, and we're not seeing any of this on the mainstream media. Is that?
Oh, is this the fog?
Oh, dude, they are spraying large parts of the cities that they are quarantining. They're saying now, there's reports that forget about 40 million and 50 million and 60 million, that over 400 million are in some type of quarantine. And they are fucking spraying the fucking streets, man. We're not done.
It's kind of like when I was a kid and the summertime, and they would spray for mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm.
Except shoot the clouds behind the truck. We would ride our bikes behind the cloud, breathing the cloud in.
Dude, that's insane. I mean, we're in 2020 right now, and they're and again, they don't have guns, John. You're not getting out. They don't have guns.
In a cage.
This is why you want a fucking armed populace, everybody. Hello, like this is why. This is the reason, so that they don't do shit like this to you. Where they fucking just shut down giant cities and start spraying them, because most people would flip the fuck out. So let's keep going.
We've got how many outbreaks have we had? We've had some here in the States. We've had some in San Diego County.
So this one's a rough one to watch.
How do they find these people? Why are they pulling them out of a car?
Watch. Keep an eye on that guy behind her, sticking her in the neck. Now that car is full of people, John. That was the passenger seat. Can you imagine? Like, you'll see the one woman peek her head, like, oh my God, what's happening? Well, she's limp. She's out. She's fucking done out. And they basically wanted to take her. That's happening. That's I mean, you're kind of blocking it. You can see her kind of
block her out.
She's out. God knows what they fucking did to that girl. But that's the streets. Hold on, we're not done.
That's wild, man.
It's fucking.
Keep
where's
your guns, folks?
Hold on. So this guy right here.
Like, how do you even decide when somebody's sick? Or somebody turn them in?
And again, wait till I show you some of the news surrounding it, John. They've got fucking sulfur dioxide readings, which are crazy right outside of Wuhan, that are basically burning organic matter. And some people think they're burning bodies. I don't know, but those readings are real. But this guy just took something with his cell phone, and you're going to see them literally put him in here. He's not even one of the infected ones, apparently, from what I've read in the translations. And they just take his cell phone. One guy rips it out of his goddamn hand, and that's it. He's arrested. Who knows if you see him again. Goodbye with your cell phone. In the car. Goodbye. And here is even more disturbing footage. There's other ones of people being run down in the street, by the way, chased. But this one, these are the people that got caught right here. In chains, in the streets. Being led away.
Those are the sick quarantine people who got caught.
Let's go back to it. Let's see.
So there's no like, this may have nothing to do with the quarantine or being sick anyways. They could just be rounding people up.
I have no idea, man. But here's that sulfur dioxide.
Because how do they know that person in the passenger seat of a car was sick? You know?
And
let's say we're targeting them some other way.
Look, Again, though this is the SO2 readings here. Again, that would be a huge amount if true. The Pentagon has opened 11 new corona quarantine virus facilities here. Obviously, it's not the same thing. But there, we're talking about, what is it? We've already got Texans with 14-day self-quarantines. This, to me, is less scary than what's happening here, where, the president's going in here. He's all masked up. They got 40 to 60 million people locked up in all those videos, man. That sulfur reading is also very scary, if that's true. If they're really burning organic matter there. Because if it's not going on in the rest of the fucking country, then why is it going on right here in the epicenter of this fucking scare? What exactly are they burning? So food for thought, man. I'm not a zombie apocalypse guy.
That's,
but
yeah, I didn't pay much attention to it. I paid about as much attention to it as I paid to the Trump getting acquitted.
Dude, that was
just haven't been paying attention. I've been doing other stuff. So, like, from what I saw though, is that it was curable, that it was treatable.
Not only curable, it's like it's not even
vaccine that was about ready.
I don't think it has a higher death rate than like the regular flu. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the doctor? Right? The doctor. So there was a doctor who was saying it was much worse, and then supposedly he came down with it at 34. Let's go to that story. Now there's a whole bunch of disinformation and I guess information about it, but let's go. The mother wants to know what happened to him after the police got a hold of him, but he's dead, like one way or another. Okay.
From the virus, supposedly.
Again, they say that he just died with the Wuhan flu, and other people, some are calling him a whistleblower. They denied he was dead in the beginning. The mother wants to know what his his interactions with the police were. So apparently they awarded him money. This is the guy, and he said it was much worse. I kind of think it might be higher. Here's the deal: what if it is higher, but like at the same time, it's very curable, but they use it just to round people up.
Yeah.
The dissidents. And a lot of people were like, hey, that's crazy. They could just do that anyway. I go, this is a perfect cover and quick. And they already have social credit score on these people. And not only dissidents, but political rivals and people that have property. It's a perfect time. Oh, there's some property they want. Wuhan flu. Who's going to question it?
Maybe they're just going to extort them for some money to get out of the situation.
It's frightening, man. I
wouldn't put that past them at all.
I mean, dude, I don't know. It's one of the scarier stories that I am starting to cover more and more because, look, if you can do that to a population of 1.1 billion people, what makes you think eventually it can't come here? When you got enough people so brainwashed that they think the Russians are the enemy and that we've got to censor the internet because the Russians are going to bot us to fucking death or change our elections. I guess we haven't talked about that yet. What do you think about the Iowa caucus disaster and Pete Buttigieg?
It's just the Iowa caucus. It was exactly like MMA judging. It's designed to be that way. It's designed to have arbitrary, like whatever meaning and have failures and breakdowns everywhere. So it's controversial every time. It gives the people on top power to do what they want.
Did you see the coin toss?
Yeah, it came down to a coin toss.
I mean,
America.
The coin toss was like the most ridiculous thing because it was so unbelievable. It was on camera. The guy flips it over the other way for Pete Buttigieg, and no one questions it, and he gets those votes. Like, how in the world can you have the guy on camera call it? Clearly, it's the other one. Flip it over in his hand, and it's like Mayor Pete gets it. Guys, he is the fucking mayor of fucking South Bend, Indiana. You do know how unqualified you would be?
Dame.
Like, come the fuck. Well, you're from Indiana, correct?
They've got a nice airport. But I mean, like, South Bend is where Notre Dame University is.
So it's a large college town.
It's a large college town, and people have money. There's people have money there. So, like, he's the mayor of like like right white rich town, Indiana.
I don't even know what to say. Like if you go, actually, you know what? There's a great meme out there. I'm not a huge memer, but somebody put this together, and they did a damn good job of it. And now John and I are gonna block some of this out, but you know what? Maybe we can hit Control and make it super big. Yeah, let's do that. Can we? Ah, come on, man. Why is my Google sucking? There we go. Let's go 200. So, of course not. Come on. Not going to work. God damn it. Anyway, if you see this, it was it was after he was a war protester and a Harvard graduate that he gets his Rhodes Scholarship, okay, from Clinton, or just like Clinton does, and then he joins the military. How many Harvard graduates that get Rhodes Scholarships join the military for anything else but political aspirations? Like, nobody. You can show me all the Harvard graduates that are ready to jump into the military that don't have set up from their fucking dad or their mom to literally have a cakewalk into a career. Give me a fucking break. And now he's the smallest town mayor in the world to ever run for president, and he's the leader. No one even knows who this guy is. Nobody. But he's sure got
Where is he from? Where did he come from? Where did he grow up?
Where is he from?
Is he from? He's not from South Bend, is he?
Let's see. No, he's not from South fucking Bend.
That's weird. He just showed up one day to become mayor of this small town.
Where? I'm pretty sure he was probably on the outskirts of South Bend, but still, it's just, come on, man.
Okay.
Like, it's
that makes more sense.
Yeah, yeah. Like a suburb guy, you know.
Yeah.
Somehow
he's from Ohio or something.
I feel like he's just a guy they found in college that was very smart. They saw it, right? Probably, you know, was that's why he gets the Rhodes Scholarship. And once he gets that, and they put him in with naval intelligence, they can't. I mean, he worked for fucking offshoots of the CIA. You know how Edward Snowden worked for Booz Allen Hamilton, which was a subsidiary, basically? He worked for a similar organization. His ties are absolutely ridiculous. He fucking talks every talking point they want. And like earlier today, I streamed like almost an hour of a debate from 2007. So like all the all-stars were there. Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and Joe Biden. The squad, really. The guys that like take over from 2008 to 2016. And dude, it was such a different time. They all had a plan that they were going to get out of Iraq. That we were actually going to leave Iraq. We hadn't started any other wars, and we were going to leave Iraq.
We're going to get out of Iraq by creating 6 more wars.
And the funny thing was, it was before we were in Africa at all with Africon. So what they did was they showed a bunch of poor kids in the Sudan, in Darfur. Remember when Darfur was a thing? And they were warmongering there to get into Darfur. Only Mike Gravel was like, fuck this. You know, they didn't give Kucinich a chance to say fuck this. But everybody else was like, yeah, we need a coalition. We need sanctions. We need U.S. troops. You know, they wouldn't commit American troops, of course, because we were still going to get out of Iraq. And they were like, you know, if such and such gets in, if the Republicans stay in office, we're going to end up in war with Syria and Iran. Meanwhile, they get in. And they start a covert war in Syria through Operation Timber Sycamore. Dude, it was such a different time. And it was the first official YouTube fucking debate. So, like, it was YouTube questions that they'd staged. Man.
Man.
It had it all, John. It had it all. You know what else it had? At the very end, you had to say something nice about the candidate next to you. And it had Joe Biden looking at Dennis Kucinich and saying, I don't like anything about this guy. And then he laughs and he goes, he goes, we've been friends for 25 years. And he goes, you know what I like best about you, Dennis? Your wife. And they cut to his wife. And that was the answer.
Oh my goodness.
That's where we're at, John. Yes. And by the way, he's going to be gone after tomorrow. I don't think that he'll be able to survive. What
Biden?
place? do you think that Joey B comes in? I mean, I think
He's done. He's been done from the start.
but it seems like they're trying to sell you Buttigieg. He's not going to win.
No, I
Klobuchar,
think he made the deal. I think he made the deal to get the push. I think so.
he's got the push, but you think they can nominate him? Wait, you think they can nominate?
I think they're gonna nominate him.
He's the guy, huh?
Yes.
I don't.
Yeah,
I think
I think that's what the DNC has decided. I think he's licked the boot. He's bowed.
I just feel like that's like when
Just
they
the
tried to
paint,
sell
I
you
don't know what you
fucking
call
Jeb
it.
Bush. You know, like Jeb Bush was going to be the next Republican guy. Granted, there's no Trump on the Democratic Party scene that can stop, but like Yang's going to get more votes than they expect. I expect Yang and Tulsi, respectively, to probably place in the top 4 in New Hampshire, even with any shenanigans they have. You think that's wishful thinking on my part?
How did they do in Iowa?
Well, they rigged it. Like Yang had.
Oh yeah, okay. So all the other ones will be totally honest and fair.
Look, all
The
I'm saying.
DNC won't screw up the other ones.
First of all, I don't
Come
think there's an
on.
app. I don't think there's an app this time. Which the app was just, again, Buttigieg's.
They didn't need an app in 2016.
No, but Bernie, it was at least, even with the corruption there with him and Clinton, with Bernie and Clinton, it was closer 1 and 2. Let's say that, right? And I think it was Hillary Clinton got 3 coin flips or 4 coin flips or 5 coin flips. And obviously the statistical probability of that is almost 0. Caucuses are different than primaries, right? So I just think the system favors Tulsi well. Tulsi's been campaigning there for the last month or so. And Yang, listen, people are coming out for free money, John. Let's not kid ourselves. There's a reason the Yang gang is around.
It's not wrong.
People are coming out for free money. And if you watch some of the polling stations against Biden, I mean, he dominated Biden where there were cameras. You know what I mean? And Biden is somebody they're placing still in the top 3. So I think if there's any reality, Joey B and Elizabeth Warren fall off to 4 and 5. If they get Bootlicker in there, he's probably 2 or 3, right? Yang may shock the world and go 2, but Bernie's the clear front runner. Don't get me wrong. The DNC doesn't want Bernie. But as far as people voting for Democrats and wanting somebody, Bernie Sanders is the people push. I don't know if it's the DNC push, but it's the people push.
Oh, it's interesting.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out tomorrow because it's all going down tomorrow. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to let everybody know that thegruelingtruth.com is where you can find the audio version of this podcast after the fact if you want to share it weekly. Wrapping it up, Fitch, what do you got coming up in your life?
I have a seminar on February 29th here in San Jose at Heroes Martial Arts, downtown San Jose. I'm going to go on vacation next week. Kids have spring break, so I'm going to take a break.
Oh, shit, that's right.
I've got my newsletter, so go to johnfish.net, sign up for the newsletter, and I'll keep you updated with everything else that's going on.
So johnfitch.net is the website. This is the YouTube channel. We're going to pop it in there so you guys can subscribe.
And then, I'll be working on Rockfin type stuff.
And by the way, Rockfin is a great, great site, guys. You got to check out my Rockfin.
Videos and stuff up there.
I mean, listen, the coolest thing about Rockfin, and let's show people the platform for me also, I'm a live streamer, and you can't see it there. I'll just mute John for a second, but live stream is in there. You know, I don't use the stacks or the articles as much, and you can put up the audio podcasts, and I upload some of my YouTube videos. In fact, I'll probably place this one up after the fact for everybody, but I also put up content, and you can choose to, that goes to everybody, so you don't have to pay $9.99 a month. You know what I mean? Not all my followers are actually subscribers. So it's a really cool forum. I am digging it, and because it is specialized and not everybody can jump into it, guys, sign up now. Sign up now, and you can get John Fitch's content when it comes in. And then you can endorse Fitch after the fact. And plus, it's hooked into the Ethereum network, the blockchain. I'm not big into crypto, but to think with banks investing in crypto and the blockchain technology getting more that it won't be profitable for some time, you know, until we get AI and fucking quantum computing's breaking it. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Guys, thumbs the video up, subscribe, join the Burmese Brigade. We've been stuck at fucking 39.4 for like 2 weeks. Can we get to 40,000 already? Seriously. Dude, I'm not happy about it. I've been literally, this is the most frozen I've been since I started cranking out the content. Fuck you, YouTube, and your algorithm right there. Fuck you. Number 2 search engine in the world. Try searching me. Yeah, great. And then I got the GoFundMe. 5, 10, 15 bucks. It means the world to me. Guys, I love you. I'll see you on the flip side. Later, Fitch.
Later, dudes.